Hi everyone, my name's Holly Jeffries. I'm part of the eTail team. I am absolutely thrilled to welcome today's Ask Me Anything guest, Mayank Singh, who is the Chief Digital Officer and Vice President at Domino's Pizza Indonesia. Mayank is one of our keynote speakers at eTail Asia, taking place in little more than a month's time from now. We are absolutely thrilled that in collaboration with Parcel Monitor, we're able to bring Mayank here to this Ask Me Anything session where we can ask him the questions that have been on the tip of your tongue. So today, Mayank joins us. He will answer questions you've submitted in. He's also speaking on 2 of the keynote panels during eTail Asia that address some of the top concerns for retailers right now, such as optimizing predictive analytics and using technology to create captivating in-store experiences for consumers. And we'll talk more about this at the end of today's Q&A. So just a brief overview or biography of Mayank. He is a passionate and entrepreneurial business leader with years of experience in leading, managing, and scaling businesses in food, in retail, in e-commerce, and media. He brings with him in-depth knowledge of marketing, product development, and the 3 C's of the digital domain: content, community, and commerce. Some of Mayank's major achievements include utilizing technology to transform businesses, delivering data analytics and strategic partnerships to those businesses. He has a passion for technology and entrepreneurship and has led several innovative projects way ahead of the curve. So, without further ado, Mayank, in your own words, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, please?
Thanks, Holly, and thanks, Parcel community, especially eTail. Hello, namaste to all the viewers and listeners. As Holly has defined my biography, that's what I am currently in Indonesia, live from Jakarta. I'm someone who is known for setting up and scaling the Domino's e-commerce business way back in 2012, which was the first hyperlocal D2C digital commerce, and I've experience in multiple domains. Retail has been one, food retail has been one. The other has been associated with startups, media companies, and that's how the experience of 3 C's of internet and digital comes into the picture. Very, very excited to be part of this Ask Me session. Thrilled as well as scared with the questions that would be shooted up to me. Hopefully, I would do justice to each of those questions when it comes through Holy from you all to me.
Super, thank you so much. So the first question that we have, this is actually from an anonymous person, is what is Domino's omnichannel strategy?
So before I go into the whole omni-channel strategy, I would like to quote. So Domino's globally has been known for doing technological projects, enhancements, and I would like to quote the ex Domino's CEO Patrick Doyle's one statement he made that Domino's is not a pizza company; it's a technology company happens to sell pizza. So that's the technology has been the core to Domino's, and that's why the adoption of omni-channel was very early into the business of Domino's, and that's where technology plays an important role from our POS to the online ordering, everything, thing customer from customer identification as a single customer data, one point contact has always been there. So from the perspective of that, each and every channel is correlatable. Customer is identified uniquely into our system. That's where we are able to deliver the right omni-channel strategy when we are trying to help our customer or experience the customer at the Domino's outlet or whether it's online. As a strategy, our core focus has been to grow the online business. That's what globally we have been focusing on. You talk about any Domino's market, they are the ones who have been pioneers. I was talking about my experience with Domino's India. There we were the first one to do in food e-commerce in place, which was hyperlocal D2C. And that time there were no aggregators. Today we talk about so many aggregators doing the same kind of business. So and that was happening because the technology has been the core to us, to our DNA, and we were able to deliver it. So if someone asks me what's your strategy at this moment, our strategy is to retain the technology DNA and help grow the online business for us, no matter which new channel comes in. And we are early adopters. So any new channel of digital comes in, or any new way of making a order done through us, we are just quick enough to grab it.
Thank you. Okay, so the next question is from Claudia, and she's asked, could you please share about what marketing strategy Domino's Pizza Indonesia focuses on and why?
So this is an interesting question. There is no one strategy, I would say, for Domino's Indonesia. What we totally believe is in test, learn, and measure, and that has been the part to the overall journey of Domino's success in this market. So when it comes, so we don't say that this strategy is better or that strategy is better. The team unifies together, comes along, creates multiple test strategies. What we do is then we start with small, and then we try to test that out in the market. And if that is working, we try to scale it up. And at the same time, in our DNA is one another aspect which has been always there, which is the ROI. The return on investment is so very important to us that every dollar that we are spending in the market, we ensure that we are able to generate the right ROI. If the right ROI is not in place, that's where we decide not to continue, not to scale up. Some strategies which has been showing us the right ROI in place, that's where we try to scale up. And when it comes to ROI, we just not see the ROI with respect to the direct ROI. What we normally see is the incremental ROI. So is there an incremental ROI in what we have done? And if there is no incremental ROI, then is that strategy, even if it's showing certain return, is something which you don't spend further. So so the right answer to this is the incremental ROI is the main strategy of Domino's marketing.
Thank you very much. Okay, and so the next question is from Marcel. He's asked, please share your thoughts about the brand positioning matters in Indonesia's market, and how do you measure it?
So brand position is actually of utmost importance for any brand. It's not just the Domino's. One cannot shoot in dark. We should know what our customer is. So there are two parts to it. One is that we should be knowing what is the right customer for us that we are targeting, and likewise we should also try to incept into the customer's mind that what is that brand is going to is promising. For example, in case of Domino's, we are a very youth brand. What we focus is largely the young salary earners, uh, someone who's just passed out of the college. I would in the other time I would say Generation X, Z, Y, all is our right audiences. And when it comes to that, the main positioning that people would want to see specifically onto that is the value. It's a value driven category, and that is what Domino's believes in. That's what we want to stand, and that's our positioning. So if what we when we launch a new product, when we price the product into a market, and the way we roll out, we ensure that customer also perceives in a similar way. That's the positioning that they are driving value from when they are spending money at Domino's outlet. The right value with respect to the taste experience is being delivered, and once that is incepted into the mind of the consumer, the sale is of course going to happen in a longer run. So positioning is very very important, and our positioning is value driven brand, specifically when someone is looking for home casual dining experience.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Okay, the next question we have is from Bobby, and he's asked, what would be the sales strategy to get higher awareness and engagement? Is influencer marketing part of it?
So basically, so as I said, we are an ROI driven brand. So anything we do, we always try to measure with respect to an incremental ROI. But yes, for an awareness perspective, it has to be top of the line marketing that one needs to do. And we do TV ads, but our investment in last 2 years has not been that high because again the focus has been the ROI. The times were not good. Keeping cash in pocket was more important, as well as it's saying using the other mediums to ensure that awareness can be generated is what we were focusing on. So digital became the biggest channel. Uh, this influencer marketing is something which is being adopted largely, specifically in Southeast Asia, where a lot of influencers are coming. I was reading a data of how many number of influencers the Southeast Asia is having and how much has been their earning. But the same question comes to us is it going to deliver the right incremental ROI or not? So that is something, measurability has been a problem when it comes to the influencer marketing. We know that, so from an outside perspective, it sounds very lucrative. The influencer has so many number of followers, some 10 million, some are sitting at 30 million. And so 10 million to 30 million, those kind of influencers, they charge also very heavy. But if you are going to do engagement with them, is it going to return into the same amount of return that you are expecting is something questionable because the measurability it doesn't come in the right way. Micro influencing is something which has come up. That's where one thing that we are thinking of to do again test and learn. But I don't think I would be able to give a right justified answer because as an experience, we are aware our experience has not been much into this influencer marketing, just for the caution that we didn't want it to burn our hands out. So that's where we were still thinking to try some micro influencer programs and see how much return would come. But yeah, it's expensive to generate an awareness.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next question we have from Marcel again. What do you think is the most challenging in Indonesia's market compared to other countries? This could be customer behavior, purchase power, or something else.
I would see our category is most challenging. So we are sitting in Indonesia where everyone loves eating chicken. Fried chicken is something which is very popular. Then the second thing is the rice. So a rice and chicken eating country, we are selling something which is a wheat-based product, which is pizza, that makes itself a whole proposition as challenging. And the customer also don't see that it's something which is a daily eating category. Like for if I have to compare US or Australia, that's something where the frequency is very high. The frequency of a consumer in this part of the world for Domino's business is stands at a very low. And we are seen as a celebration brand. So someone who is very happy or would want to party along with their colleague, because the pizza is something which is shared. You can have your burgers in silos or your chicken in silos, but when there's a pizza on the table, it's shared, and that's where we fit in. So as a category, in terms of the frequency, it is a challenging proposition, but at the same time, finding the right occasions where we can hit to the customer and be on the top of the mind of those customers, that what this product stands for and what are those occasions when they should be trying it out and they should be having the pizzas. Like when a payday happens, that's the day we are targeting the customers. When there is office parties, that's the time we are targeting. Even the meetings, we are targeting the customer, and we also do want to tell them that we are the most convenient option when it comes to delivery. 30 minutes or free is something what Domino's stands for. And if you are looking for something quick to be delivered at home, then Domino's is the answer.
Okay, thank you. Next question is from Marcel. Do you think businesses can grow with only a digital channel without any offline presence?
The answer is no. So actually the synergies of both the channels is important. For awareness, of course, you need an offline marketing presence. You need to build a brand. A consumer would not order unless he is aware of that brand, what that brand stands for. and that cannot happen through digital. Digital largely has been focusing on the tactical marketing, and so. But again, when it comes to reach out to the masses, you will still require an offline marketing. So it's a 360-degree marketing that any brand has to do to ensure that there is awareness. So the same marketing funnel you need to do awareness, then you have this prospected user, then selected, and the conversion is happening at the lower funnel. So that whole journey is important. You cannot just be doing one part of it, which is digital. The digital with an offline marketing makes a great combination wherein the awareness and the transactions both starts to happen. As I would remember one point of time, we were saying that if I want to launch a brand or launch a product, and someone who I do want to target, he should see first my as soon as he or she wakes up in the morning, should see that product onto his newspaper, then would see an ad on the radio while on the way to the office. Maybe at night would see a television while watching his favorite serial, and then when he is surfing internet, then he should be seeing our brand. And when those number of encounter happens about the brand, only then a conversion happens. So a 360-degree marketing is important. Both alone cannot give you the result that one is expecting.
Thank you. Okay, so could you tell us what are the top challenges when it comes to food e-commerce operations?
So food e-commerce operation, so the number one challenge starts from the whole alignment of different departments into the place, be it finance, be it your operation, be it your customer service. Everyone needs to have the right manual FAQs in place that how they would be responding to. So for example, if I have to talk about finance, the e-commerce is related to an online transaction which are happening. Those transactions may fail, or maybe a order confirmation happens late or a cancellation happens. So there has to be a process to ensure that the finance has to do the due diligence in terms of ensuring the right refund is happening, and that too happening at time. The customer service at the same time is answering those concerns. When a customer is calling, they should be immediately able to address the customer concern. Yes, they can see the data, the transaction was there, it is cancelled, the refund has been processed, and what is the time period where the refund would be hitting to his account back. So all those processes, the right dashboards in place was required, which is a cross-functional departmental thing. But as that's the operational part of it. It's not just enough. When it comes to the front line, which is when you have to sell through the e-commerce platform, as a food brand, the biggest competition into this category is not the competition of my peers. So I don't treat the QSR competitor as my competitor when it comes to e-commerce. What I treat as a competition is those super apps and the aggregators, because they spend more into the e-commerce digital marketing compared to what I would be spending, and that's where the competition hits up. So they would be also targeting customers to come and order for Domino's. I am also targeting for the customers to come and order. So that's where the whole challenge comes, where specifically as a competition, if I have to think on an e-commerce ecosystem.
Thank you. Very interesting answers. Okay, so this question is from Diane. Do you see AI playing a bigger role in Indonesia's e-commerce, or predict it to in the coming years? Does Domino's Indonesia adapt AI into your business?
So AI is actually playing a very important role at the Domino's. I would not say just the e-commerce, the whole of the Domino's operation. And internally, what we have actually created two frameworks that we call. So one is a 3D framework and the other is 3E framework. 3D framework is, so any AI cannot happen unless you have data in place. So the 3D framework is for the data capturing, which is, so the first D for that data capturing, then segmentation, and then utilization of data. And then once the data is in place, it has rightly been segmented and it's ready for utilization, then comes the 3E strategy, which is about the utilization. So first E stand for expansion. So Domino's is among those who, even for opening new store, we use AI in terms of identifying when the location is identified. What we do is using the historical data, we try to predict whether this store is going to, how much revenue it is going to be generating, how many years this will become profitable, what would be the payback period, and basis or whatever the investment will go into it. And basis that prediction, we decide whether to open that store at that particular location or not. That's one part. Same as we use for the, again, the data for enhancement. So today, if I want to target my customer for repeat, which is using the data marketing, we just don't go ahead and blast emails or SMS to everyone. That's not the right thing to do. What we do is that we again have data models in place where we work on ensuring we are messaging the right communication to the right customer. We predict who is the right customer for a given day to be communicated with what promo, what offer, on which he would be likely to do a transaction. And then we measure it, that how did that data model has performed, whether there is a requirement of tweaking or not. That's another part. And the last is, of course, the efficiency. Again, this data is used to ensure how to make the whole operation efficient. The data which is captured, the operational delivery time, how to improvise on that. So 30 minutes is guarantee what we stand for. Our aim is to even reduce that. And data plays an important role, specifically these AI models, to help ensuring us deliver same.
Fantastic. Okay. So we have some live questions that have come through. I'm very excited to share. So this question is from Bulent. With omni-channel business models and tech changing rapidly, how does omni-channel look for Domino's in the medium-term future?
So omni-channel is not something that you would be seeing that there is a medium or long-term future. It's there and it is going to be. Any retail business today or tomorrow, they cannot have just one channel of sale. So like Domino's works, we have our carry out as a channel, dining as a channel, delivery as a channel. Then there is a call center, online ordering that we have partners, these aggregators partners, which where we do collaboration and the sales comes in, ensuring that all these channels we are working, and we have to keep looking for a newer channel. So one example I would want to give is that Domino's was the first USR in Indonesia market to launch a chatbot. So we found that the WhatsApp is something where people are spending most of the time, and what we believe is where the people are, the market, there is a chance of making a market and ensuring a sales to happen. So we started a chatbot 1.5 years ago. Currently, we are trying to improvise the whole customer experience, but again, it's very important to ensure that what new channels can be added up in your own omni-channel strategy. And at the same time, you have to also ensure how are you collecting the data so that your customer can have a seamless experience when they encounter any of the channels. So be it carry out, even if you're ordering from phone, or you are ordering through online, or you are ordering through aggregator, everyone has to have a same experience. And that you can do only when you have right processes and the FAQs in place for all your respective departments to work on.
Wonderful. Thank you. So we have another question that's come through from Syed, and he's asked, how rich in technology is Domino's to run omni-channel?
So the short answer to Syed is Domino's is, as I said in the start of this interview, the first point, that Domino's is someone who believes that we are a tech-driven company, happen to sell. So anything which we do is around tech. Domino's India would not say that stand at par with our parent Domino's US, because they are much advanced in terms of the technology adoption. You must be hearing a lot of news of self-driven cars to drone deliveries, to voice bots, to to even there are markets where we have the markets are targeting to deliver the pizzas not in 30 minutes but in 15 minutes, which is happening through AI based models to ensure that when person starts to add the product into their cart, immediately there is a flag with red, green, yellow lights to ensure that how much risk can you take. If green, just go ahead and prepare the order for the customer. He is gonna place that order before he has even placed, and that's how you are able to optimize your making time so that you deliver faster. So technology has been core. These learning from the global market keeps coming to even market like us, Indonesia, and we decide when to adopt to this technology because everything is related to cost. So making a choice with respect to the right cost, right time is what is important when it comes to the uses of technology.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So, okay, the next question we have is an interesting one here from John. When faced with negative feedback, how do you handle it?
The short answer to this is I will smile. uh, so, uh, but yeah, so, so whenever a negative feedback comes, it is an opportunity to learn. The first thing is that you need to welcome the criticism is very important because most of the time we are all in our own egos when we do and deliver some stuff with our whole hardship, and we believe this is the right thing. But a negative feedback always helps us to improvise. So again, going with our own DNA of philosophy of test and learn is very important. So even a criticism is there an opportunity for us to learn, and we want to smile on those learning opportunities. So I am always ready to hear any negative feedback that comes with a smile. At the same time, I would want to learn and improvise.
Okay, thank you. So we've got around about just less than 5 minutes left now. So I'm going to ask you if you could give us a sneak peek on what you'll be sharing at ETEL Asia.
Yes, so happy to be part of ETEL. Being now a regular speaker at ETEL Asia. This time I would be be part of two of these sessions. One is actually, I think, a fireside chat on predictive analytics, which is something which we have as a Domino's we have done a lot, and it's something which we would want to share for most of the companies to learn what Domino's is doing probably, and I would also would be wanting to learn from my peer who would be there on this fireside chat. So predictive analytics is something which is not new, but it is something which is being adopted largely since the time those emerging tech has come up, which helps you ensure your infra cost goes down. You can have built-in algos in place. At the same time, you are able to not just predict about the behavior, but also the right customer, even inside or outside. It's a very interesting topic, and that's one topic that I would be speaking on. The second is, I think, it's an keynote interview, which is about emerging technologies. As I was sharing, the predictive and AI in today's world has become so very relevant. It's all happening because of the emerging technologies that's there, which is helping improvise the whole customer experience. And why that is happening is because you are able to analyze your customer better. You have now cloud computing, 5G coming in place, IoT, and these emerging technologies actually helping and becoming the base for the AI to flourish and give business those opportunities which were difficult earlier time because it required a capital investment. Today, because of these technologies in place, the cost of doing certain things has come down, and that's where you are able to give the right customer experience in store, online, to your customer to ensure that then when they experience you as a brand on these avenues, they are delighted.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Well, as we have pretty much run out of time now, you can hear more on those sessions that are happening on the 7th to the 9th of June in Singapore. So ETEL Asia, as many of you know, is Asia's most senior level e-commerce and digital marketing summit for retail. So I hope to see some of you there. And also, if you like, you can follow Parcel Monitor. There you can follow their LinkedIn page, and then the next event, the industry leaders like Mayank, and get the latest news and insights in e-commerce logistics. So just click the follow button and stay up to date with what they're doing.